What did Jesus really think about money? While everyone talks about prosperity, wealth, and achieving more and more, I'm going to reveal a shocking truth to you. Jesus talked more about money than about heaven and hell combined. And the lessons he taught will completely turn your perspective on success, wealth, and prosperity upside down. If you've ever felt confused, torn between faith and paying bills, between serving God and providing for your family, pay close attention because these 5 lessons will bring you clarity like never before. And lesson number 3 is the one that will blow your mind about what it truly means to be successful. Let's begin with the first lesson, which is the foundation of everything. Lesson number 1, the danger of serving 2 masters. Jesus was categorical. You cannot serve both God and money. He didn't say it was wrong to have money, but he warned about who is in control. Does money control you, or do you control money? This lesson frees you from financial slavery, from that constant anxiety of always needing more, from that endless race after something that never satisfies. When you understand that God owns everything, money becomes a tool, no longer the goal. Lesson number 2, the true treasure is in heaven. Jesus taught us to store up treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy. This completely changes your perspective on investing. While the world invests only thinking about financial returns, you begin to invest thinking about eternal returns. Every resource you use for the kingdom, every act of service to others, every act of generosity, these are investments with eternal interest. Your success is no longer measured by what you accumulate, but by what you give. Now, let's move on to the lessons that will deeply challenge your concepts. Lesson 3, the poor widow and the offering that was worth more. While the rich gave large sums, Jesus valued the poor widow's 2 mites. Why? Because he doesn't measure value by quantity, but by proportion and the heart. This lesson destroys the "when I have a lot, then I'll give" mentality. No. Genuine success begins when you understand that even with little, you can be generous. The measure isn't how much you save, but how much you give of yourself. Lesson 4, the parable of the buried talents. God doesn't reward omission, but boldness. The man who buried his talent was condemned, while those who multiplied it were praised. Jesus doesn't celebrate poverty by choice. He celebrates wise stewardship. This lesson frees you from the scarcity mindset. God gave you gifts, abilities, and opportunities so that you can multiply them, not hide them out of fear. Success isn't selfish accumulation, it's multiplication with purpose. And we arrive at the most transformative lesson of all. Lesson number 5, the lilies of the field and divine providence. Jesus pointed to the lilies and said, "Even Solomon, in all his splendor, was not dressed like one of these." This is the final lesson that will give you financial peace that no amount of money in your bank account can buy. It's the understanding that your worth lies not in what you own, but in who you belong to. When you internalize that God cares for the birds and the lilies, let alone you, financial anxiety loses its power. Success ceases to be a desperate race and becomes a confident walk in divine provision. These 5 lessons aren't about getting rich. They're about being free. Free from anxiety, free from comparison, free from the slavery of always needing more. And I have a practical challenge for you today. Choose one of these 5 lessons that spoke most to your heart and apply it to a financial decision you need to make this week. It could be the lesson of the 2 masters, the lesson of the poor widow, or the lesson of the talents, whichever resonated most with you. And I really want to know which one you chose. Comment below. I'm going to apply lesson number X to my decision about, because your journey toward a healthy relationship with money can inspire many others who are watching. If this content brought clarity to your life, if it made sense for your financial and spiritual journey, click like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. The prosperity Jesus teaches is not about having a lot, but about being a lot in the hands of the one who owns everything. Remember, Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. May your life be marked by this prosperity that begins in the soul.